If you've watched the old Outdoor Magazine television show or heard the radio show, you know I love to hunt turkeys. It's something I look forward to every spring. This season, I'm hunting the same property I have for the past several years. It's a real nice piece of land. There's an orchard, a big stand of pines, and an awful lot of woods. And that property carries a lot of turkeys. Opening day was pretty warm, and I expected the birds to be vocal, but I never heard a gobble on the roost or even the rest of the day. I did take advantage of that slow action, though, to do something I haven't done before, a live Facebook video from the blind. That was an awful lot of fun. The second day of the season, it was quite a bit cooler, and still the birds weren't talking. I did call in a couple of hens about mid-morning. They came right into my decoys. They were followed by a big, beautiful longbeard. He hung up, though, at 50 yards. He strutted out there for about half an hour, but he just wouldn't come in. Once again this year, I'm hunting with my dart and crossbow. This time it's a Rebel 135 SS, kind of the predecessor of their Toxin line of crossbows. Now, I can shoot bullseyes with that thing on the target range all day long, but I didn't want to take a shot at 50 yards at a moving animal. So I just sat back and watched the show. Eventually the hens wandered off, the tom wandered off, and that was pretty much the end of my day. By now, it's Friday of the opening week of the Michigan turkey season. I'm not too worried yet. My season is 2 weeks long, but still, I got to the blind out there early, and much to my surprise, the birds were gobbling on the roost. But guess what? Once they hit the ground, they shut up again. I expected the gobblers to be henned up until mid-morning or so. Based on my past experience, I figured about that time the hens would move off, and the toms would start wandering around looking for hens and maybe responding to calls. That never happened, though. I tried calling a few times, but never got a response. So now it's getting close to noon. I've been in that blind for 6 hours now, and I'm thinking, you know what, it might be time to call it a day. Just about that time that happened, though, I heard a gobble off in the distance, very faint. I responded, I called back, he gobbled back at me. We went back and forth a few times, and I thought, you know what, this just might happen. So I get the camera fired up, I get the dart and crossbow up on the shooting sticks. Just about that time, I see this big, beautiful longbeard come out of the orchard, turn right, he sees my decoy, and he starts heading right in. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see another bird, and this one is just as big as the first one, and this guy is really hot. I didn't want to wait for both birds to get into my decoy. I thought, you know what, this first bird is a beautiful bird. He's right in there, nice and tight. He's in with shooting range. I made a beautiful shot, and he piled up nose first into the dirt. So then this second longbeard, just as big as the first one, he hears that first bird go down, he turns around, goes back to him, and starts gobbling at him. And then more birds showed up. Turns out there was a third longbeard in that flock, some jakes and a bunch of hens, and they were all wandering around the bird I just put down. It was quite a sight, and it was pretty cool. Eventually that flock moved on, and I was able to get out of the blind and go pick up my bird. Well, here's my bird. He's a real nice long beard. Didn't measure the beard, haven't measured the spurs, but they're all pretty good. I shot this guy in the middle of the day, like 12:20 in the afternoon. after a very, very slow morning. In fact, I was starting to think maybe I'd call it a day. I thought, no, I'm going to stay out here a little bit longer. The birds gobbled on the roost this morning, and then they shut up. And then I heard very few gobbles until about noon, when I called this guy in. He came in with 2 other longbeards and some hens. He came into my decoy, and I shot him. Took care of it right there. The Darton, once again, if I can get it up here, this Darton crossbow, this is the Rebel 135 SS. I love crossbow hunting, and that Darton is as good as anything out there. Also, I got to say something about these heads. Last year, I hit a bird with a G5 Montec. I didn't recover it. I thought I needed expandable head, so I thought I'll try the Havocs. This is a 2-blade expandable Havoc head by G5. I hit that bird. He didn't go 10 yards. He needed a nosedive into the dirt. So my patience paid off. My equipment paid off. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful season.